We haven't worked on our stairs yet, obviously. We just have 2x4s screwing in to hold it up. We needed to remove those 2x4s so that we can get our second coat on. Today we're going to fill these little spots and also move our island and fill those spots in. Today we're pouring our second coat of our earthen floor. Wiley's working on our first batch and we're just going to keep on rolling. We just want to get this whole thing done today. It's going to be a really long day. Our first coat took us like a day and a half to get it all poured. We were really slow when we first started, so we're hoping this coat we can just keep moving along. And then this coat is just going to be a straight 1/2 inch all the way through since we had it all leveled out now. Our first coat we had areas where we were pouring like 1 1/4 inch thick, so that really did take a lot of extra mud and more mixing time. Just give us a go and hopefully we can get it done today because Wiley goes back to work tomorrow and we don't want any cold joints in our floor. Meditating? So we just got out of the master bedroom and into the kitchen here, and our mortar mixer stopped. We're about 3 hours in. It's broke down. They're kind of looking at it, trying to figure out what's going on with it, what they can do. Got that all burnished. It took probably an hour just to get it done. It's still working on the mortar mixer, the engine tore apart and everything, looking at it. It's like 12:45 and we are maybe like 1/5 of the way done with our floor, not even probably. Hopefully somehow or another we can still make this work today.
All of that in now.
Since we aren't going to get to work on our earthen floor for the rest of the day, I'm going to move some of this dirt here. Like how we have it poured right now, it's kind of a really odd pour as far as where the cold joint's gonna be. It's like goes right down our hallway and not ideal at all. So I am gonna at least fix the area where it's gonna go underneath our lower cabinets. That way the joint is underneath that, and then I'll bring some of that dirt around.
The day didn't go as planned. We had some breakdowns. We got a couple gears that sheared teeth in our gearbox that actually turns the mortar mixer. We found parts online, hopefully get those ordered tomorrow. Teresa's uncle has an old mortar mixer that we're trying to get going right now. It hasn't ran in like 10 years, so we got some fuel issues, but we'll get her, so.
Yeah, it might just be a few days till we get back to it. I did fix kind of the joint area so that's a little bit hidden underneath our lower cabinets. I mean, it is what it is. There's not much we can do about it at this point.
You gotta roll with the punches, I guess.
Yeah,
so.
I guess it's bound to happen with our build, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we really haven't.
Yeah, we haven't had any issues.
Haven't had any major.
Lucky. Yeah, we've been really lucky, so.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not mad, I'm not upset, just the way things go, right?
Yeah, I'm just worried about the joint is all. Like with the cracking, whatever.
Shouldn't have any cold joints. Again,
we're new at this too. We don't really know what to expect either, but
yep.
Just not the way we wanted it to go down today. But in a few days we'll be back at it and hopefully we can finish it out in one full day from here.
Yeah, we'll get it slammed out. We just got to get it going.
We were gonna start pouring our second coat today, and now we're having troubles with this mixer. We can't keep it running.
All of that over here. All of that.
Finally, my father got the mixer running and going again. We're gonna attempt this. It's a small mixer, old mixer, so I'm a little nervous how it's gonna hold out for the rest of the day. I don't want any more cold joints in our floor. It's a late start already, but hopefully it won't take nearly as long since we do already have a little bit started from last weekend. It doesn't mix very much. It's just like a half a batch of what we were doing before. Doesn't even fill our wheelbarrow halfway full. So Wiley's gonna be mixing constantly. I'm gonna go ahead and start spraying down our floors. It just helps create a suction for the next floor to a day or two. For anyone curious about the floor that we did pour 2 weeks ago, it's holding up really well. Like, I'm amazed. We've had people walking on it literally every day with boots, cowboy boots, you name it. We did obviously have to clean it up last night before pouring again, but the kids have been running around on it every day, and that's just the first coat, no oil on it or anything. I'm like super impressed. It's solid, hard. We haven't seen any cracks. Anyone that's come in is pretty impressed by what a dirt floor can actually look like.
This is an area where I should have added water to the previous floor where the joint is and worked this in with our fresh mud. I had forgot that the floor is just dirt and didn't even consider that as a possibility until after the floor was all finished. Now we have this very obvious joint going through our hallway area, which will add character, and it tells a story of all the different challenges we've been faced with while building the house. But knowing that we did it ourselves adds so much more beauty to the flaws.
We got it all done today. We weren't really thinking we would actually finish it. Well, I wasn't thinking it would happen today,
Yeah,
but this morning.
yeah. We got another mortar mixer and we got the engine running. Then we got to starting today and the engine just would not run. So pulled the engine, took the engine off of the other mortar mixer, made it work, had a belt on hand, and went and gave it a run.
Thankfully, it made it through the whole day. It was just fine, huh?
No hiccups.
Yeah, it was kind of nice maybe for you having the smaller batches, or
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever, yeah, it doesn't matter.
And then my father came and helped us at the end there, which really saved us an hour or two of time just to
Yeah.
get us going. It's pretty late already, probably 9:30, 10 o'clock we're figuring, we don't
Yeah.
even know. We're just so thankful we have it done. We didn't get to burnishing it though. We tried at one point in the day and it was a little too wet. For us, it was more important just to get the whole floor done, finally.
Yeah, if anybody thinks drywalling's bad, you should try something like this.
No kidding. It's like, I enjoy doing it, I really do, like when it's not too dry.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it's not
it's
bad.
just the
It's
whole, like, it's 1,400 square feet of floor, so it's kind of a big undertaking for the two of us to try to get done in one day when we have things go wrong, especially.
Yeah.
So I am gonna give it a try and burnish it. Hopefully it's not too dry in the morning for me to just kind of smooth out some spots at least. The other reason to burnish though is to kind of press it in and
Seal it.
seal it, yeah. Get any cracks, you're able to smooth them out. If you need to push against the outside edges of your walls, if you're not gonna run baseboards, that way when it comes time to burnish, you can kind of push it back in, because once it dries, it pulls away from the edges.
Yep.
We are going to go with baseboards, we have to.
Yeah, and then the next step would be linseed oil.
Yep, so we're gonna let this dry. It'll be about a full week. I'm pretty excited because we got some good linseed oil, not just the stuff from the big box stores.
Yeah,
So that stuff has a lot of chemicals added into it. You know, the all natural stuff.
yeah.
No chemical smells, no off-gassing. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray this down and start burnishing. I'm using styrofoam blocks. I taped around the edges so that it's not breaking off onto the floor, the pink foam. You can really see the travel marks now that the sun's up and hitting kind of the areas here. So I'll see what I can do. You can really see where I did actually go through and burnish it compared to here where it hasn't been burnished yet, all the trowel marks. Just gonna go through, try to make an exit point around and burnish this whole floor. It's already been a couple hours, a little over halfway done. It's pretty dry. I got about 6 blisters on my hands already. And I just got to keep moving along. It's getting hard. My hands are wet, gloves are wet from the spray gun, so it's getting difficult for me. Like in a couple bedrooms on the north side, it's not as dry and it smooths out very nice. It's been about 20 hours that this has been drying already, and that's just definitely way too dry to go back and burnish. Unless you have a couple people to help give you a hand. It's looking really good though. I really like the look of it burnished versus not burnished. You can really see the difference. Now my water gun's not working, so I'm just gonna probably dump a little water here and there and just kind of do what I can. Our floor is roughly 1,400 square feet. It took us 13 to 14 hours to lay our top coat of earthen floor and another 3 hours or so just to burnish it the next day. And keep in mind, your floor is going to dry at a different rate depending on the thickness of your material, your inside temperature, outside temperature, whether you're using fans to dry. We had floor heat, so that accelerated the drying there. Every drying time is going to be different. For us, the next day burnishing, it was a little dry. If we didn't have that floor heat on, that would have really helped for me to go back and burnish. But we had already kicked that floor heat on while we were pouring, so we couldn't get back in to shut it off. It looks great. I'm really excited to see what the oil will look like, and then we will really know how well this floor is going to hold up once we get to that point. Thanks again, you guys, for watching our channel. We sure appreciate you guys following our journey.